Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 4. Congratulations. You are halfway through. Woo! We're getting into the deep stuff now. We've already gone through one theory. Now we're headed into social cognitive theory, and you're going to start to see some common threads and some real differences in how these theorists approach student learning and the role that the student has in it. I wanted to introduce you to one of my favorite authors. Tom Cody is part of a team called Top 20. If you've ever seen this book, they have Top 20 teens and they have Top 20 teachers. If your principal's ever looking for a really great way to lift up your staff and encourage people, I would highly suggest bringing Tom Cody in to speak to your group. He is hilarious. He's an educator, but he is one who speaks the truth for sure. But I see a lot of social cognitive theory within his approach to learning. And one of the big pieces in his book is that he tries to teach teenagers and teachers that we have a control over the voice that comes from the inside of us, that it's not just about external environmental factors. And within social cognitive theory, all of those things play a role in a student's learning, but how they interact with each other and which one has more power over the other really does have an influence on how students learn. And you might find that you connect with this more or better than other theories. You may find that you just think it's a bunch of hooey and you want to push it to the side, and that's fine. You still need to know about it. The idea of self-regulation, of self-efficacy, that, you know what, I can get smarter. I can learn how to read this. I can accomplish this task. That behavior and that language isn't spoken into our students a lot, so it's hard for them to come up with it from the inside sometimes. So your Jensen Chapter 4 book this week is about school-wide success factors. Within your discussion, of course, you're going to tell us something that really you just went, that's a piece of knowledge. That's a little nugget that I'm going to hold on to because I really connected with it or it's important to me. What an implication is for something in the chapter. They don't have to be connected. And then, of course, the significance of what you found. One of the things that really stuck out to me within Chapter 4 is the idea that in all of these schools you hear about turning around. A lot of you had some articles about this with the ASCD assignment. Even though they were about poverty and not about neurological learning, they were still great articles. That in these schools where this happens, the staff truly embraces the expectations. They become socially, cognitively aware, right, of their behavior and their learning style. It's not that they're just parroting them, that they're just walking around going, well, they said I had to do this, so I guess I'll do it. It doesn't have the same impact. So I hope you enjoy reading this and that you see it as a way to encourage your peers around you. And who knows, maybe after you finish your master's, you'll be put in a position with your faculty or with your district where you can bring some of these insights and these challenges to them. Wouldn't that be awesome? In Chapter 4, you're going to read through your social cognitive theory. Last week, you had your first attempt at creating that graphic organizer. You're going to do exactly the same thing. Hopefully you'll be able to use the same one that you made before and just change out the information. Please look at my comments from past assignments. Don't just look at the grade. Go into the grade book, look at it, learn from those things, and make necessary changes as they go. Remember, you're also going to look at the instructional application piece and give me that narrative about how this really impacts student learning and instruction and assessment in the classroom. So one of the pieces, too, that I wanted to make sure you understood was within that second discussion piece where you are to give an explicit, clear example of a time when either you or someone else utilized or initiated some sort of interaction or strategy in order to improve a student's self-efficacy and it had a positive impact on that student's learning. I am not looking for a diatribe of a lesson plan. I'm looking for one interaction, but you're going to need to provide context for us. Was this a kid who was constantly absent? Did they have a lot of home life problems? If you're not sure about that, when you saw the interchange, what led up to that situation happening or that challenge by the teacher to the student to say, hey, let's turn this around and look at things a little differently. You have to understand social cognitive theory and self-efficacy in order to answer this prompt. You cannot just make something up. You might get lucky, but I doubt it. So take your time, read your text, really figure it out, and Wednesday, show us those things that really do apply. We are going to have a Zoom meeting this week for those of you who can join us. I hope you can. On Wednesday, February 5th, we'll be meeting at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'll be sending out a Zoom link through announcements, so look for that and click on it and join us if you can. I really want to be there to answer any questions you have about the theories, about these graphic organizers, how you're seeing things turn around in your school. I want to hear from you. What kind of impact has the Jensen book had in your classroom? We want to hear your stories. We want to hear from you. So I hope it's a time of encouraging each other and for me to provide clarity for anything else. So as we close our time together, I wanted to read to you from my devotional. Ran across a wonderful statement here. It says, "Let the goal of this day be to bring every thought captive to me. Whenever your mind wanders, lasso those thoughts and bring them into my presence. In my radiant light, anxious thoughts shrink and shrivel away. Judgmental thoughts are unmasked as you bask in my unconditional love. Confused ideas are untangled while you rest in the simplicity of my peace. I will guard you and keep you in constant peace as you focus your mind on me." I don't know what you're up against this week or this season of your life, but if anxious thoughts, if confusion, if any sort of judgment has been put on you by other voices in the environment around you, I want to challenge you to bring those voices and those thoughts to the foot of the cross, to your Creator, and find peace and allow His light to shine truth into those situations. The world can be a very loud, very noisy place. Sometimes we can feel like we're not going to make it, that we don't have what it takes, that we've failed too many times. But you know what? In my experience, those of us, me, who have failed multiple times, we've learned from them, they've humbled us, and we've become better because of it. And that idea of that growth mindset and that idea that I don't have to be perfect, but I do need to know what's true and what isn't true, I think those are best seen through the eyes of the one who loves us unconditionally and created us and has our best interests in mind. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope to see you at the Zoom meeting. And hey, stay with it. You're doing great.